Hello there, you're joining News First with yet another exclusive, and this time we have a very remarkable individual with us who has impacted several fields including law enforcement, and then we have spirituality, literature, and of course humanitarian work. He is a distinguished former IPS officer who retired as DG Police, and then of course a globally respected spiritual thinker and author and a dedicated philanthropist, of course. Well, his contributions have touched so many people in India and of course across the world, and today we have the privilege of speaking to such an individual. Before we have a quick chat with him, I'd like to introduce him to our viewers. He is Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy. Thank you very much for making your time and joining us on this quick conversation with News First. Doctor, you just came down to Sri Lanka. Before I start off with my questions, how are you doing? How's Sri Lanka to you?
This is my second visit. I've come here a few years back for Bhumi Puja of the same institute which is created Sai Baba temple, for which I'm here. I came to Chennai where I have a huge temple there on 7 acres of land and many other deities besides Sri Sai Baba. I came yesterday and the food is very good. They treated us very well and the people are simple. I like that. The cultural and the flora, fauna around. Thank you.
That's very nice to hear. So I quickly mentioned in my intro that he was part of law enforcement for a very long time, and we had this conversation off camera, and I told the doctor that I definitely have to ask him this question. You were an IPS officer in such an aggressive field, and now you're doing humanitarian work, spirituality, a very calm role. How did the transition work, or should I even say that, because you just told me that it's not a transition? So tell me about it, doctor.
See, I joined in 72, did 36 years of service in the police. At the highest level is DG. We have a few IGs under him. 2008, from the state of Uttar Pradesh, which is biggest, 10 crores population. You see, humanitarian work can be done by the police itself. When you are giving succor, help to a sick person, old person, injured person, and child is lost to you bringing back, that also is a humanitarian work. We understand there is a negative role always. It is not a negative role. So that is what is the main issue. Number two, to go beyond it, within a government servant you cannot do many things. So at a point of time I thought the service is not adequate for me to do what I want to. So in 89 I went to Shirdi, and ever since I've been doing more humanitarian work, even being in government. It has never disturbed me. If you have a will and you know the methodology and the protocols, you can do both. That's my idea.
Doctor, you've been a part of establishing so many spiritual centers and charitable organizations. If I'm right, the number is 400, and that is a lot. So what drives this commitment in doing all of this humanitarian work?
It can be a community development center. It can be through a temple. It can be a spiritual center. You can have a hospital, you can have a school. All this put together, anything you are doing can be done. So I have a number of such centers in terms of temples, community development centers. I have 3 schools in India. Shirdi Sai Public School at Bhubaneswar, number 1 for the last 3 years in India, minded. I have one in Moradabad. I have my temples at Minneapolis, Chicago, Bellevue, and where not, and New Zealand and Australia. I mean many countries, not only Europe, all over. The point is, it is a center which, if properly works, will create a place for people to come first. Next, it will create a theme to proceed with. And number 3, religiosity and spirituality may not be necessarily the same. One can be religious, going through the system, cultural heritage, but spiritualism can be done even without being in temples. One can sit at home and pray, isn't it? So, I thought that only spiritualism and religiosity for one's satisfaction is not sufficient. It is necessary for them to segregate whatever experience was and convert it in terms of creativity to help others. That is the human pain. I mean, in fact, Buddhism teaches all this, how to remove pain, how not to do violence, etc. So if people go to these centers and they are mentally less violent, more educated towards the realities, I think that will help people.
Doctor, now you mentioned that really being religious and being spiritual is different, but there are some people.
I didn't say different, may not be necessarily.
Okay. So there can be times where.
Both are valid, yes.
Okay, so it goes par in par, but there can be people who follow spirituality and not necessarily be so religious. Right, okay, of course. Well, we have, of course, times are changing and we've come to a very modern society now in 2025. And with time passing, I believe that people are going to move on being more modernized by the day. Are there certain challenges when it comes to being spiritual in times like this compared to how it was when you started off?
No. Our understanding of the word spiritualism is very limited. We have a way of understanding spiritualism and doing worship to a deity. Many of these great saints never said worship a deity. Hinduism said, somebody said. Like Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, and a few from India. The point is, time will change as per the law of nature. If you think that time will not change, that's wrong. One. Number two, when in the Renaissance came in Europe, at that time, a lot of change took place. And it creates such harrowing tales that what will happen in future is just worth. Go to those literature, Neo-French Revolution, Renaissance, you will find out everybody says the world is going to hell. The world will not go to hell, even after the artificial intelligence and the change. Because the same intelligence which creates this change will contain itself, update it. Today, time spread, the factor of time with what time what you produce. Today, technology has made in smallest time you can produce maximum.
Yeah.
So time has shortened, production is maximized. Basically, anything in business is least time, least cost, maximum value, maximum quality. This is the force. If you go by this corporate balance, even in spiritual and religion movements, the same thing. Least time, least cost, maximum value, priority. That's what it is coming.
Of course.
So now, changes will always create some confusion. Let us accept how to tackle confusion. That is what is necessary. Instead of telling that this generation has gone wrong, this generation has gone wrong, that is absolutely wrong. We shall not understand the generations. Because we read in my early childhood 57 2s, 7 3s, 7 4s, 28, 7 5s. Nobody has a necessity to read that. Like this, many of these users we had, they are no more good, they are redundant. If you can do it in computer, why should you go for that? You do understand. One. Next, today's international economy is overlapping. International culture is also overlapping. All these things never happened. But that doesn't mean the world is going to hell. What to accept these realities? Like many people send their children abroad, like London or anywhere or US. They want the benefit of health there. They want the benefit of there and everything American, but want the culture totally like what is happening in their own countries. Is it possible? Isn't it asking too much? With this, in our generation, we write a book, not be bombarded with too many thoughts. Today, go to Google, bombarded 100,000 thoughts, and this poor children group, which is growing between say 13 million, they do not know how to tackle that. For the wiser one, to show them the path which one to tackle. So, as we said, the spirit of the young and the wisdom of the old must merge.
And you also mentioned technology.
Yes.
And with times changing, technology plays a big part in humanitarian work. Have you all been able to incorporate that with all of the work that you all have been doing?
Yes, I've been doing.
Okay, can you talk us about that?
No, like we are all the kids in my temples. I build temple not only Sai Baba, all Hindu temples. Okay. They are being taught. I mean, not only they are taught in their science, but they are requested with their parents, they are all with me, their children teach the parents about technology. Because they are best assisted to teach them. All the kids, I can show you a video full of it. They go and tell Mama and Papa, this is what you learn for tomorrow. So they teach it, so the communication is very good.
Wow. Okay.
That's one of the methods. We should have adult education, our generations, about technology, and learn it from the group that is actually doing.
Better late than never.
Defer. I myself, I am learning.
Yes. When I started off, I said that Doctor is also been working a lot with the literature field. He is an author who's written several books. Is it 70 so far?
I think so.
Okay, and being transliterated to so many other languages as well. So when you write these books, Doctor, what is the aim of doing? So what exactly do you expect from the readers? What is the vision you're trying to share?
I don't think anybody writes a book with a marketing strategy. Somebody writes because it comes from his heart. Even if nobody reads it, one writes. Some of the books I started writing in 2000, never published for 10 years, never bothered to publish. I said, let it time come, it will publish. So that sort of a textbook you are asking is on mathematics and educational quality, which you need to write a curriculum. Non-curriculum subjects like cosmology, cosmogony I write, or Guru, the saints and all that. That is a spontaneous growth. You are not, but as it happened, it has determined all Indian languages, some languages, German, French, anyone. Now it's being Chinese, even in Chinese it is being done somewhere in US. So it has come very well, and one of my books recently, Shirdi Sai Baba, The Compassion, one book, is bestseller of HarperCollins, and bestseller of HarperCollins, one of the best publishers in the world. So writing is a passion, and let time flow to accept it. People accept it, fine. For example, for Guru Bhagavat, people have created houses and mutts and everything. In Odisha, there are 70 of them, very expensive. US, there are 20 groups. So they are all doing it spontaneously. My point is, people are doing spontaneously, there is value. Advertised literature doesn't stand.
Right, okay. We also mentioned Sri Guru Bhagavat.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit what the idea of the book is?
What is Guru? Take any religion. There has you got a Lama, you got a pastor, you got a Kutub, you got a Sufi, you got a Hindu Guru. What is a Guru? That's a constant. There will be somebody to learn, there is somebody to teach. That has been always there.
Of course.
This is a constant. Like a mother, anywhere is a constant. The mother will give the first touch, first education, everything to a child. The first Guru is mother for me. No doubts. In actual field, who gives the education? And that Guru quality means taking pain for the child. Who gives it? The mother quality. So it is a constant. So this Guru is constant factor everywhere, in different forms, different roles. They will teach, somebody will learn. In that teaching, you call it in Western countries mentors. We are not going to spiritual characteristic to Guru, but in Hinduism, from the over few thousand years, these children at 7 or 5 used to go to the Guru ashram. Their fathers would go, leave them. Till that to 16, them nobody except that person. They learn cooking, wood cutting, armament, Vedas, religion, everything. So their total life depended on the Guru. So he became complete. That is why that Guru God concept came, because if he was not there, acting like a God, covering all the respect, the person would not grow. But even the parents would not come in 3 years. But that has changed now. Now Guru, see, mentor we call it.
Yeah.
Respect for the Guru comes from the quality of the Guru. Even today in foreign countries, a good professor, people go and help. I heard of somebody who has cancer, even if I know. All of them join together. It is no country, no state. It has nothing to do with religion also. Religion is a type of Guru. Education is a type of Guru. Mother is the best Guru. Anybody who teaches.
From just these couple of minutes that I have been talking to you, I realize that you have a lot going on, Doctor. So with your academic side and then your literary side, how do you balance these work with your humanitarian work, which is your forefront?
What is the point of writing unless you can do it? You see, it's so easy to be a poet, thinking of touching the sky, but not able to give 2 penny to the beggar sitting in front of the house. What is the idea of that? Yeah. So that writing is not correct. It is not my nature to write. If the writing doesn't reflect my personality, it is not a correct writing. It is one of those window shopping of love and devotion.
Pointless.
Pointless.
Yes. Doctor, you were invited to give a Gita at the US House of Representatives.
24th June 2015.
Okay.
I was invited as a guest chaplain.
Okay.
To start the opening of the session
with a prayer.
With a prayer, which I did. God gave me a chance, grateful to God, and then the chaplain and the speaker of the US.
And that is an honor that is given to a very few people, Doctor. So can you we'd like to hear your experience of how it happened, how they approached you, how it started, and what was the final product of that session?
You can find it in YouTube. It's very much there. This is in US. You see, it is a very strange. Sometimes you don't expect things to happen. There's those who go miracle, maybe chance occurrences. Maybe we go to the spiritual world of consciousness, which I have not delved into. It happens sometimes. I was informed that I must come and do it. I went, met the speaker, and then it was a great pleasure because from India or from the dais, only prime ministers had spoken there. No individual had the
honor of doing that.
Honor of doing, and I am not usually in the TVs giving interview and speeches, nothing doing. That's what I have.
Yes.
So may God's will be done.
And at the same time, I believe, if I'm right, there are several cities in the US that have declared the Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy Day in your honor. What does this international recognition mean to you?
Look, these things, like for example, I think 13 July last year somewhere, they declared Bellevue, Seattle, King Country in 2 places, C.B. Satpathy Day, and one is Guru Bhagavat Day. They liked, I think, must have liked the Guru Bhagavat as a literature.
Yeah.
Which must be also help. Guru is constant. So you say praying of Guru or the approach to Guru, everything is constant. Who is a correct Guru, who is not correct Guru, it is written. Who is a correct disciple, who is not correct disciple, written. How to select your choice. What is the miracle powers, yoga sadhana, written. So maybe people liked it. So that's their kindness, I must say.
And how are you using this particular recognition or utilizing it to actually to spread your work and make sure that people are part of that?
No, I never utilize this. The first time, no, next time I am not there already. You see, if people know that somebody, what I said, has got this, they will encourage that they also come in the line, they can do it. But I don't use it. I think I use the name of God only. Amitabha Buddha, let's call it. You take the name only.
Right now, in 2025, you have achieved so much. And if I had to ask you, in the next 10 years, where would you want your humanitarian work to stand? And what kind of an impact you would have wanted the world to have seen from your spiritual work? What would you say?
I'll do more work in Ceylon.
Okay.
First point. Then I've seen.
Yeah.
When the temple has come, a lot of work. I've done in other countries. Ceylon, I have not been able to do.
Okay.
I have to do in Ceylon.
So we will see a lot of humanitarian
work. You'll find. Let's how you see this family which has helped me, Veeravauji, and the gentleman who left his Deshabandhu. The gentleman who was awarded, Mr. Ishwaran, Deshabandhu title by the government of Sri Lanka. Very kind man. His 2 daughters are here, son-in-laws are here. He was actually Mr. Veeravauji met me in Delhi. How a temple came, that's the background.
Okay.
But diverting little, Dr. Ceylon. They had been going to various temples. When Mr. Veeravauji, as per his statement, when he went to my Chennai temple, which is about 700 feet by 1100 feet, 7 acres from there in Golden Beach, my first temple I built 93 with another 15 deities, Indian pantheon. So then he contacted Mr. Reddy, a professor of Tirupati University, and came to me in Delhi. In NCR area, I've got 13 of those huge ones. So that is what got me touch. Mr. Ishwaran, who was a very nice, he was feeling sick, and then very nice man. So they requested me to come. So I had come here. I think then Bhumi Puja was done. And then I find, see, I go by the quality of human beings, not the quantity of what they possess. And let me tell you, in my movements in India, I forbid foreign donations. No donation from United States anywhere is necessary. If my people are capable with giving 5 rupees each to build a temple, no point of begging anywhere. It won't sustain. I'm very clear on this issue. So even I am not kept the proviso for Shahita money. And I am not the owner of all these temples I built. I have left to people themselves.
Of course.
So what will do with possession then? What are we, for next generation, who will do it? Okay. So all these typical concepts I don't have actually. If you ask me all this, till one leaves the body, let's work and go. The rest is only imaginations for what will happen for that world, what will be this world. That I don't think. Do as much care, go away, because everyone will go.
Of course. And I would like to wrap up with this final question for you, Doctor. There are so many young people who sometimes seem lost when it comes to spirituality. What advice would you give them who are trying to contribute meaningfully to society?
Some of them are contributing meaningfully to society. Some of them can contribute to meaningful society if properly given. Now, who will give that lead?
Yes.
Which? The elder generations only. All elder generation with patience. And the elder generation must know what they know. That's why I'm saying education. You see, it's just like, the problem must be here. Young people always doing this, they said they are all spoiled. General view is, if the boy or girl is doing this at 12 o'clock night, must be they are spoiled or something, why they are not educating and all that. That is the general view everywhere, and in particular Southeast Asian countries.
Yes, very true.
But who gave them that instrument? Parents. My generation. And while giving an instrument called life, did I tell them the plus and minus of use of life? I never knew computer. I didn't know how to check it. I give them the instrument. When they misuse, I don't know how to stop it either. That's what I'm saying. Please understand, this generation is much more intelligent, much more struggling to establish itself, and the way these boys and girls and young ages are doing, like you are sitting here, there also, people are earning and their intelligence, hats off, they are the new generation.
Thank you. Well, just from this conversation I had with Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy, I realized that your journey is nothing short of extraordinary, and we have more yet to come and more we will see, and we are glad you're going to start so much more in Sri Lanka as well. So that was our conversation with a long list of titles that I just can't go on explaining. But Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for sitting down with us and speaking to our viewers. We are very glad that you're here with us.
It's a pleasure to be here in Colombo and enjoy the culture and hospitality of the Ceylonese people. It is also a pleasure talking with you because you are doing it very well. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. That was our conversation, a News First exclusive with Dr. Chandra Bhanu Satpathy. We will see you with another News First exclusive very soon. Thank you for watching.